we have been having this discussion now, I think, for almost an hour, but we are not getting right into the real issue. I clearly told you that you should make me believe that this is not just an organization that is there to play some politics here and there. Because the moment you mentioned the name of the First Lady being the patron and the founder of this, we believe that with her position as a mother, we must have felt you more than anything. I'm going to give you an example. We have had the First Lady of Kenya, the former First Lady of Kenya, Miss Margaret. The impact that this lady had in the young people of Kenya was visible. No one needs to tell you about what she did. You could see it on ground. You could see her moving here and there, doing a lot of stuff outside there. But now we're having our young people still grappling with the issue of, right now we have the most prominent one being homosexuality. We have teenage pregnancy still on the rise. You're talking about fighting HIV/AIDS. Well, government is really doing so much to see that this reduces. Yeah? Poverty, inadequate education. Up to today, you've been in existence for 30 years. You've been working in line of education, but we are still seeing a lot of people in rural areas not accessing education. With the position of the First Lady being the Minister of Education, we still have young children, girls, not going to school. And on top of that, she is the patron of an organization that works for the young people. I think we need to be expecting a little bit more from you that you're not telling us. Or maybe you're hiding some of the things that you've been in position to do. But I believe we need to be feeling you much deeper in our societies. And so we have all these challenges. We are still having young people getting out of universities and seeking opportunities out of Uganda. We believe it's okay because they still remit. Last year they said they remitted about $1 billion US dollars, which is something good. But then as the First Lady and as a patron of UIF.
But Robinson, we are exporting maids. We are not actually taking out doctors or something.
Yeah, we are not exporting skilled labor. We are exporting these people to go and be house helps. Yeah, but with the existence of 30 years, what can we say about you?
Before we go there, and I think this can also, it's a question that was raised online. There is an assumption that Uganda Youth Forum is a party-affiliated organization that is working on promoting ideologies for the national ruling party. Let him speak to that and assure Ugandans that it is not.
Oh, thank you, dear listeners. I just want to clarify some of the myth and misconception that young people or some of the members here are having. One, at the beginning, inception of this discussion, I said Uganda Youth Forum is an NGO. That was started. It's just like teaching your child how to walk and then you let them walk. When they start walking, you let them run and run around alone. So she is a founder. So we are running this organization and with the different directions that I've given you that we focus on as an organization. One, there are facts that we cannot run away from as a nation. Uganda is growing very, 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 very fast. And the opportunities are not growing as fast as Uganda is growing in terms of population. One, if we averagely a ratio of if I may do some little math here, you may want to believe and also learn that in the near future, 10 years to come, we are going to be sitting on a time bomb of a population of young people in this nation. If we have a man and a woman, and the ratio of children they give averagely is 6.5 to 7, 5 to 7 young people. We want to, if you calculate this, every 2 people produce 6 to 7. Average, let's take 6. I also just want to also use an example. If I, Robert. My father has probably, let me say, an acre or 4 acres left for us in my village or in my country home, Arua, and we have 4 acres. And for example, we are 4 boys or 4 men, and each of us gives birth to, for example, 6, average of 6. And we are saying that we are going to share inherit or share the little 4 acres we have. You can imagine how each of us, the 4 boys or men, will have to share the 4 acres. Everyone will take an acre, and then everyone has 6, and then the 6 will have to share an acre. So you can see the resources do not increase, but the population is increasing. So, and then which means that there are so many things that are not increasing at the rate that the population is growing. So the industries and the employment opportunities are not growing as fast as the young people
that we
growing.
can all acknowledge.
Now, those are facts that what we have here may not be able to swallow every young person that is here. That's why we are saying more especially into institutions or NGOs that exist. That was we are saying we need to empower young people to think creatively on how they can do what we call startups for themselves. They can also join efforts. They can get into their areas that are really so green and that are not being invested into by young people, like especially agribusiness. Young people have left agriculture for elderly people, and they have come into urban areas to
Mr. Fidra, are there resources? Are there resources?
So,
because we know where to invest as young people. Are there resources? Is Uganda Youth Forum actively putting resources aside, or is it telling us what we already know?
Tracy, I want to put this straightforward. There are so many opportunities that exist for young people here that young people shun and think that the little money they probably support them with may not be enough. Sometimes young people need to be able to save for themselves, to be able to start up on themselves. You don't need to have the begging and asking syndrome all the time. Sometimes it has to be innovativeness, creativeness on how I can start up. Not everyone is going to be supported in this nation. Some people need to reinvent. Some people need to start. We have seen so many young people who have really started from their own scratch. We have seen some people use the opportunities they have from government, from NGOs, from churches, from individuals, and they have started something and doing something. So the resources we have in this nation may not be enough for every nation. But use the little you have. Use the opportunity that you have. Use the land you have to make something, to start something, to develop something. Join hands with other young people. Start something bigger. So we are saying some of the money that they export, we get to UAE. Some of the funds, someone takes around 4 million, 3 million to go abroad to start. And then he has over 10 acres at home. And you can't really say that I'm going to plant trees or start agriculture or do something. But it takes the 5 or 6 or 3 million to go abroad. And then we do not know, most of us do not know what exists out there. We have had challenges, we have had problems, we have had young people cry. So you can creatively think and use that money that is taking you abroad, start up something here. We know, Uganda, we have the highest startup in Africa, startup business in Africa, but we also know we have the highest business failure in Africa. Most businesses that start up do not reach their first birth. So we are saying as Uganda Youth Forum, some of the skills we give young people is how do you sustain your business? How do you use accounting, financial accounting, basic financial accounting to sustain your business, to go into the second and third business? Those are some of the things we're saying for different areas. For example, there are times we call chapati people who are doing businesses, boutiques, and we bring them on a platform and say, how do you keep your books? How do you handle URA? How do you pay your employees? How do you pay yourself? How do you save? How do you make sure that your business runs and continues to run? So these are skills that we give. They are not financially related, but they are basic skills that you need to run a business and sustain your business. So depending on the demand and the challenge that may exist in a specific group, we address you accordingly to your challenge. So, so those are some of the things. I don't know whether the other question I've answered it. The question of the First Lady not supporting having the feel of us. We are an NGO, like I did say earlier. And we currently, let me put this way forward, we currently do not have a donation from multilateral organization to run some of the projects that you see other organizations are running. So we do what we call partner support from different entities that pull resources together and bring young people together to support them. And sometimes young people invite us to their communities, and we do community-based or school-based or institutional-based skilling for young people, depending on what you want. Please, you call us and we give you in relation to what you require. So they feel you may not have to have the feel because we don't make a lot of noise. The organizations that make noise do work less and make a lot of noise in media. But we do not make a lot of noise. We do reach out to young people. We may not be so loud in the media, there and then TV, radios, and so on. But the young people down there who know us, who are the 20 and supporting the 80 young people, they know how much we have impacted them in the different areas we have supported them. So maybe probably our biggest challenge would say that we have not been all over the media to do. We have seen organizations go and clean a road, plant, do a zebra crossing, and they're all over the media and the radio. So we rarely get into the media, but we support young people in different areas. Thank you.
Okay, Rob, Calvin, you just had Mr. Fidra's submissions. Is there any area of that submission that is still grey for you?
He was basically talking about the involvement of the First Lady, the partisan part of it, but you cannot shun away when you talk about First Lady and any issues of affiliation. That one, we cannot even debate about it.
This is allegedly. Is it a fact for you, or
I stand my ground as a Ugandan. If you talk about a first family, it is politics. Now, the other issue is, I beg, what was the other issue you talked about?
So he has assured us of how they work, and they do not, I think when it came to why you do not know about them, he did say they do not run to the media like other, maybe that is the problem, but work has been done.
Okay, so for the presence, NGOs necessarily must have the presence in the communities to get funders and donors. So you cannot tell me you are an NGO established for over 30 years and presence is not an issue, because presence determines
presence
the work
is impact
you do.
in your opinion.
Yes, it's impact, because when we go to your website, we require to know what have you done in the society from 1992. So the presence to me is interpreted as the work done. Now, for them to say they have not been in the media as a point of saying that's why people don't know us, no. That means you are not working, that's why we don't know you. So
it is a difference of opinion right here. One saying we work, we just don't run to the media. Another saying it is a difference of opinion. Robinson, which one do you subscribe to?
No, for an NGO to be known, you must be working.
Two ways about it.
We can give you examples of NGOs that we know, but we have never been to their offices. We don't even know where they sit. Yeah, but we see them doing stuff outside. I would want to ask him. He is the National Outreach Coordinator.
Yes.
What is your role exactly? You as an individual, what is your role? Maybe we can start on a personal basis and get to see what the organization actually does. What have you been doing for the past few years that you've been there?
Thank you, Robinson. Thank you, Tracy, for your really hard questions. But I think I'll repetitively mention this. And there are skills that there are some misconceptions of terminology that people confuse and also measure impact with or measure outcome with, and they say these ones are working or not working. And then we would also want to know that the organization that directly what we call hands-on skills, what we call the practical hands-on skills. Those ones are visible. You can really see, you can touch, which the Englishman will say they are objective. So you can see, you can touch, and say this one has been studying for 6 months and he has graduated and he has given a tailor, or he has been given a machine and what and so on. Those are hands-on skills. We at Uganda Youth Forum, we do not do practical hands-on skills. So we're not going to have young people tell you that we have been at Uganda Youth Forum and you've given us a skill of tailoring, laying a brick, or doing something. But you will get young people who will tell you that Uganda Youth Forum referred me to this organization and this is the skill I got. We've been referring young people to a partner organization called Kibo. We refer them to them, and also they also gotten partial sponsorship to give them hands-on skills and also help them innovate and start up their ideas. So ours, I did say, is to challenge you, is to tell you the opportunities here. Like we did say earlier, just give you a sense of direction and tell you, really, these are the skills, this is what you need, this is what you need to go through.
Robert, someone
they are project-directed projects that we have run, that were funded by EP4 and USAID, that were supporting vulnerable girls, that were hands-on skills. You know, would do support, empower like over 30 or 50 girls with the catering skills, with tailoring skills. Then would support computer skills. And those were practical hands-on skills, but were fully funded by EP4 and USAID funding projects. But we believe that young people can. There are so many opportunities. Like we say, we are so many organizations. There are so many organizations. We can't also all be doing the same thing.
Yes, Robinson. Yes.
Someone just sent me a message right now that Robert is a soldier.
Robert is a soldier.
Yes, that Robert is a soldier. I don't know what this tells us about.
Maybe they could define what they mean by soldier.
That you're serving in the UPDF.
No. I am typically a person who's joined Uganda Youth Forum. From my university, I joined Uganda Youth Forum and I started working. By the way, I've gone through growth from Uganda Youth Forum. I started as when I joined Uganda Youth Forum, I was at Chambago University as a young person, and I was picked on because of my skills, and I started working, implementing, reaching out to the communities, the peer facilitators you're talking about, the peer mentors you're talking about, who would go to communities and reach and train young people with these skills. We have had a session, we had a curriculum called Smart Choices. We're empowering young people to make a smart choice in life. And then we also had a project called Choose Life. We're telling young people, you have an opportunity to choose life ahead of you. You have a choice to make. You have so many opportunities. You have a decision to make. We tell you that every time you see something, hear something, listen to something, it is either an opportunity or a threat for you. Then you need to go through a decision-making process. So we tell you that when you're making a decision, there are things you need to consider. One, you need to ask yourself, what is my benefit from this? Even if I've just had, even if I've just tested, if it is alcohol or juice or what is my benefit? Two, what is it going to harm me? Three, if you cannot solve it at that point, you need to seek wise counsel. If you cannot seek wise counsel, then you need to think.
Robert.
No. Let me just complete this. I am just clearing. Let me just clear.
Robert, me, I just want to know.
I just want to let you know.
I want to know.
Robinson, I want to let you know how my rise was.
Robert, yeah, I just want you to tell me.
So from peer facilitator reaching out fellow people.
I just want you to tell me you're not a serving.
No, I'm not. I am a civilian. I am a civilian, a typical 2247 civilian. And
members, I don't know what 2224 means 7, but yes, Calvin, you had a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Yes. When we were coming on air, me and Robinson agreed that this second hour should be actually the perspective hour.
Yes.
Where the Uganda Youth Forum should give us the perspective on youth issues. Yes. I have been making research on the multidimensional index. 27% of Ugandans are under the multidimensional poverty with the 3 dimensions of the well-being and monetary poverty, then the education, basic education, then when you talk about basic infrastructure. As the Uganda Youth Forum in your existence for 30 years, and the excuses of we don't have money, which does not even add up to me, what is your view as in poverty eradication? Because now here we are talking about 12 million people. So what are the structures that are in place, or what is your view as the Uganda Youth Forum, as people working for the youth, to make sure that we are approaching this multidimensional poverty in a different way to see that the youth come out and they don't have to face the same challenges?
Okay, thank you. I just want to say this, dear listeners. Uganda Youth Forum, we have done a lot of support. There are so many government
Tracy,
institutions.
I want to repeat, please don't talk about mindset change.
No. I did say, let me just put this straightforward. Like I did say, I also mentioned it again. We deal with the head, the mind, and the heart. We deal with the head, the mind, and the heart, inclusive of the hands. So poverty eradication, we, over time, I've mentioned it, we echo it so many times, and then I will echo it again. We do what we call referrals. There are so many organizations that are directly responsible for giving opportunities of employment for young people. And we're saying we give you an opportunity or show you the opportunity, existing opportunity, and we want you to harness the existing opportunity that exists. And I did mention that earlier we had direct funding. There we are giving hands-on skills, and we said that after this, there were so many young people who got hands-on skills for young people. But we also said that we also do budget advocacy. We try to influence the government to put enough money for the departments that deal directly for young people. We advocate, we say this time around, this is the money you give us. How much do you need? You need to add us more. We have a lot of unemployment in this country. Can you really support more funding, probably in Ministry of Gender, to support young people more? That is the advocacy we do, that we call the budget advocacy as an organization. And then we also support other NGOs in terms of this era of NGOs today. Organizations no longer work alone. We work in partnership. You will never find an organization work alone. So it is a network or it is a consortium. So we work with different organizations to support them in different things, or they support us in different things.
We just have 15 minutes, members. And I would love that in these 15 minutes, Mr. Fidro, just kindly let us know what Uganda Youth Forum has in terms of programs for young people this year and how they can access them. Because the intent of my perspective is not just to have our perspectives literally shared, but also offer solutions. And I really want to find out from you, what is the Uganda Youth Forum main point of agenda this year? What are you working out for young people, and how can they access these programs, and where are they going to be?
Thank you, Tracy. One, I just want to let young people in this nation that we have a youth convention coming soon. April, the date will be communicated. Those who are in Ankole, we have a student symposium for females on 7th to support the International Women's Day. We have a center at office where Uganda Youth Forum, where we do capacity building in public speaking and facilitation skills every Saturday. That one is solely you call us, and then we fix you a date depending what kind of skills we have. We also have different camps every end of term in terms of self-mastery and self-building individually. How do you potentially build your skills and potential? Use the existing potential to thrive in life in this day-to-day. How do you see the milestones and jump over them, or use them as steps to climb on another level? We also have, we are planning for a conference in Kasese as well, for those who are in Kasese. we didn't mention you reach out across the country. We have a conference for young people coming in around April. We also have another symposium for young people in Busoga region, which is focusing on teenage pregnancy and also bringing the men know that your girls are not brides. They are not marriage matter. They are not be there to used or exploited for marriages or pregnancies or give birth or multiply this nation into number of other human beings. With the other programs, we'll communicate, but we also have starting up a project that is going to support the employment, the national employment program, what we call the youth passport, where we train you and give you a passport that helps you to link and connect into other organizations, or tell you, showcase that you can give to other organizations and say, I've been trained and given skills into management and be able to manage myself at work, and this is what the skills I have. I am employable and I can be able to support this organization or company in different areas, what we call the youth passport.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fidra. Panelists, let's go. Questions about those very programs that you might have. Let's start with you, Calvin. The programs he has listed. Any thoughts about those or any submissions?
Me, I don't have anything to say about their programs. God bless them in their programs. Uganda Youth Forum, God bless you. My issue is my pleas to government. Government, when you are registering these NGOs, let them have purpose. Because it is founded by this one and the other one, you give it lieu. I one time actually went to register a CBO, the one Action Network for Legal Awareness. It had a youth word in it. And the person really told us that anything connected with youth these days after the registration of NUP, the government does not want. Now, what I can tell you is these NGOs are here, they are hoodwinks, and they have no basis of stand in society. And some of them are claiming to be 30 years, but government should do their work on monitoring and seeing how best NGOs can impact the society rather than just being on paper.
Okay. That was Calvin and his submissions. I want to hear you from Robinson. I want to hear from you.
Well, just like Calvin said, I won't have any comments on some of the activities you're going to be doing outside there for the youth. But to be honest, we have had a lengthy discussion on just to try and get to understand what exactly you do outside there. And me and my colleague here, we just realized you're just an organization that provides a platform for discussions like this. And so we couldn't really question you that much.
AMCI Radio for African Voices.